Noelle's been a character that's been, well, the beneficiary of indirect buffs throughout Genshin Impact, from the changes to the ×2 Geo residence to characters being introduced in the game that directly buff her, like Goro and Yunjin, to the likes of characters that work extremely well with her kit like Farina and Shalonin. Noelle's been there and been getting better every single time. And it's with great pleasure that I bring to you something that came to me in a dream, we'll call it. Noelle's gonna get better than before. So 6.2 is bringing, well, Durin with this new thing that you might have heard with Hexenzirkel characters, also known as Magic Rite characters. The biggest one that's gonna get buffed up here is Albedo, and Albedo is getting some changes, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait. Check it out. He's getting constellations as well as straight up talent buffs, and I can't be any more ready than I am right now. Now, the first thing we need to talk about here is the straight up buff that everyone's gonna be a beneficiary of with this new Magic Rite stuff. In addition to doing what it does right now, Calcite Might is also going to get changed so that the transient blossoms generated by a solar isotoma, when they deal damage to opponents, their damage is going to be increased by 120% of Albedo's defense for each dark isotoma on the field, up to a maximum of 250%, which is just going to be a substantial DPS increase. And that doesn't even factor in needing anyone else that is a Magic Rite character. If you don't know what I mean by that, what is a Magic Rite character? Gamers, level up your game without breaking the bank. Dive into LOOTBAR's epic 6.1 recharge event, now live with a sleek new page. Grab the exclusive and limited 6,480 Genesis Crystals pack, gone in just 1 week with this discount. Plus, score big with our all-in-one and guaranteed bundles for unbeatable value. New to LOOTBAR, snag a 10% discount coupon on your first buy. Returning legends enjoy that 5% plus an additional 3% off for a total of 8% savings. Valid for 1 week only. Just enter your UID and get it nearly instantly. Additionally, with the new 6.1 update, you can also top up on Chrono Nexus directly from LOOTBAR, the same trusted service as Genesis Crystals. Quick, secure, no hassle. While also saving up to 25% total when topping up at lootbar.gg. Join over 100,000 trusted users. Check out our glowing of trust pilot review. Other top creators like Jello Impact and Raiden Shotgun enjoy LOOTBAR and swear by it for its secure instant recharges. Head over to lootbar.gg with my own unique tag. Check it out in the description below, and game on. Limited time and don't miss out. Upon completing the witch's homework beyond the lesson, Albedo is going to become a magic character. When the party includes at least 2 magic characters, you'll gain the Magic Secret Rite effect, which enhances all magic characters. Albedo's Magic Secret Rite is as follows. Dealing elemental skill damage to enemies within 20 seconds after using an elemental skill will generate something known as an Aurolith, basically a mini version of his flower that isn't destructible like his flower is. As long as Albedo hasn't been defeated yet, the Auroliths will start generating transient blossoms. There can be up to 2 Auroliths generated by Albedo on the field at any one time. Creating a solar isotoma will enhance damage dealt by normal attacks, charge attacks, plunging attacks, elemental skills, elemental bursts by any nearby party members by 4% for every 1,000 defense Albedo has for 20 seconds. The maximum stacking damage bonus that you can generate this way by generating Albedo's flowers is a cap of 36%. In addition to that, when creating an Aurolith, that will enhance the damage of normal attacks, charge attacks, plunging attacks, elemental skills, and elemental bursts of any nearby magic party members by 10% for every 1,000 defense Albedo has for 20 seconds. And the maximum damage bonus that can be gained this way is 30%. So Albedo is going to become basically like we were using Yelan for a skill generating, elemental particle generating character that buffs big damage percent bonuses off of the field while doing a substantial amount of damage herself with Depth Clarion dice, which is something that is just amazing. But now instead we can just throw ahead and throw Albedo in here and just have giant damage off the field, giant damage percent bonuses for our other characters, gonna be buffing up Noelle, and we're not done yet, because if you're someone like me who just kind of was all in on Geo, yeah, I have a C6 Albedo that just sits here, they're going above and beyond, and these things are gonna get buffed up and changed as well. Constellation 1 additionally has transient blossoms generated by this isotoma increase Albedo's defense by 50% for 10 seconds. So not only is it gonna be giving giving him a 1.2 energy, but basically this is a free 50% defense bonus, which increases Albedo's damage, which is just amazing and also synergizes with, well, the other parts of his kit we just talked about with the Magic Rite. Constellation 2 is getting changed as well. It still is going to do all of this stuff with the Fatal Reckoning stacks that buff up his elemental burst based on his defense, but in addition to that, when Albedo is off the field and his Fatal Reckoning stacks reach maximum, if there are any Dark Isotomas on the field, all of the stacks are going to be consumed and 3 Fatal Blossoms will be generated around the active character that instantly burst violently in bloom, each dealing Fatal Blossom damage that is equal to 300% of Albedo's own defense as Geo damage, and it's going to be considered elemental burst damage. Transient blossoms generated by Dark Isotoma also will grant Albedo Fatal Reckoning. When this effect is triggered, his passive homuncular nature will also be triggered, which is just insane. So not only is this going to be buffing up all of the damage that he does, it's going to go in and make his off-field damage even better than before, making him an even better partner for Noelle. So if you're an old head that's been running around with an Albedo, C1, C2 from the old days, you're going to get just buffed up. Apparently, when patch 6.2 comes out, we can make him a Magic Rite character. But no, we're not done yet. Constellation 4 is also getting buffed up. It used to just be this 30% plunging attack bonus damage thing that just wasn't all that relevant. It still does do that, but in addition to that, when an active party member jumps near a Dark Isotoma, they're going to gain a Soaring Leap buff, which immediately destroys this Dark Isotoma and significantly enhances the height of the character's jump, increasing the leaping character's plunging damage by a further 30% for 3 seconds. It's kind of cool. I don't think it's busted or anything, but being able to just take this, throw it down, and have Noelle be able to jump to the skies like I wanted to, as always before, and plunge down with a 60% plunge damage mod increase is gonna be amazing. I am geeking out with how cool that's going to be. Is it going to be something I consistently do where you just sort of have like a Sean Yoon Cloud Retainer Noelle team hyper bumping up and down? Probably not, but being able to do it every once in a while is going to be so awesome. And if you can do it multiple times, it's going to be the most fun thing that I've done with Noelle in a very long time. Oh, and this Constellation 6 here that just like, 17% damage if you're crystallized with Albedo in your party. It's, well, it has that, but it's got a couple other changes as well. In addition to its base effect it currently has, when an elemental burst is used, all Dark Isotomas on the field are destroyed. Destroying any number of Dark Isotomas will grant the following effects. Whoever used the elemental burst will enjoy the damage percent increased effect granted by his Constellation 2 Fatal Reckoning stacks. The damage percent bonus is increased by 250% of Albedo's defense for 20 seconds, which is just crazy. So you're going to be able to add elemental burst damage basically off of his Constellation 2's little buff here that gives like a bunch of defense added to an elemental burst onto basically anyone's elemental burst who's activating it if you have C6 Albedo, which is crazy. And remind yourselves, all these constellation changes, if you have constellations for Albedo or if you want to pick them up for free in future events, are not tied to having the Magic Rite characters in your party. Only the big one that buffs up damage percent bonuses based on his defense is tied to the Magic Rite effect. So you are going to need another magic character to get that big sort of buff that we talked about originally with Albedo. But luckily there's a couple other characters I used to pair with Noelle in my team from back in the day that are getting buffed up as well with this Magic Rite effect. Now, one of the ones that isn't really all that needing of a buff, but is getting one anyway, is going to be Fischl. She's going to have a quest for you to do a Magic Rite sort of thing as well. And hers is going to be pretty simple. They're not crazily buffing Fischl, but hers is when she's a Magic Rite character and there's one other Magic Rite character in your party, if an overloaded reaction happens, she's going to buff up her own attack as well as the other person's attack by 22% for like 20 seconds. And if she's involved in like a hyper bloom or a lunar reaction as well, she's going to give an elemental mastery buff. For Noelle teams, that's not like the craziest thing. Sure, if you're fighting like a random pyro enemy in a team like this, you could buff up Noelle's attack and Fischl's attack by like 22%. But the key thing is that she's going to be a magic character that's very easy for a lot of players to access, to just throw in with someone like Albedo in a Noelle and still have a fourth slot with those three for someone like Farina, which is going to be an amazing team. That's probably the team that I'm going to be using. So it's not like the craziest buff of all time, but she is going to be a magic character that just slots very well into a Noelle team. She's off the field. She does a substantial amount of damage. She can help energy battery your Noelle, your Farina if you decide to put there in that party as well. Albedo is going to help with particle generation. So this could be a very nice team that you guys can put together that's going to just be phenomenal. And if you need another Magic Rite character that's going to get buffed up on top of all of this, Klee is also going to get some Magic Rite effects if you choose to go after her. Basically, her thing here is she's going to have a Magic Rite effect that gives her stacks based on using her normal attacks, right? It's going to buff up her charge attack damage. Every time you do a normal attack, it's going to give you 1, 2, or 3 stacks of this like Jumpty Dumpty Boomy Bomby stack thing. And it's going to give your charge attack a 150% damage bonus. But ultimately, I'm really just all about buffing up Noelle one more time. I cannot wait to get some plunging attacks with a Noelle build, level 100. I've been saving the showcase for this 6.2. I want to see the level 100 Albedo, buffed up Farina, buffed up plunging attack, charge attack, normal attack, damage everywhere, Fischl coming out, doing amazing things there. If you're hyped up like I am for this, let me know down below. Go check out the sponsor as well. It helps us just do stuff in general in life out there. Drop the love down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.